Talk tonight about defunding police, and all you want to know is who's going to show up when you call 911. The People's Power Assembly held a rally right in front of City Hall here tonight. While they're doing that, inside City Hall, the City Council was crunching numbers. WMAR 2 News' Eddie Kadam was there and shows us where the protesters want this money spent. Eddie.
A clear message from the people at this protest. They want the power of policing put back in the people's hands.
We believe it's time now to defund that police department. It has failed us. We're not just talking about police brutality, we're talking about the murder rate, the safety concerns that we have in this city.
The protesters' idea of defunding the police would mean that some of the money allocated for the department will go towards helping the community in other ways.
It's time for those resources to be plugged into things like housing, jobs, education, and healthcare.
Baltimore City Council started budget hearings for the $4 billion budget on Monday. On Friday, they will discuss the proposed $545 million proposed police budget with Commissioner Michael Harrison. Councilman Eric Costello is the chair of the Budgets and Appropriations Committee. He says some council members support defunding police and some don't. He pointed out the relatively peaceful protests in the city as an encouraging sign of progress between community and police.
We have the top reformed police commissioner in the country, and Michael Harrison. We're under a consent decree. We have a crime plan, we have a staffing plan, and we have a community engagement plan. And those things have been endorsed by Judge Berdard, who's overseeing the consent decree, but those things also cost money to implement.
This man came to the protest in an orange jumpsuit and cuffs. It was difficult for him to talk about police brutality and mass incarceration, but he's hopeful change is coming.
Whoever's voting, whoever's in power, whoever's in police, starts from your heart. We could go on with the different solution and budget cuts and what needs to be done, but if none of that decision making is coming from the heart, it's going to be the same story.
In Baltimore, Eddie Kadam, WMAR 2 News.
All right, the police department is the last agency to have a hearing. It is rescheduled from 5:30 to 9 o'clock on Friday. That's coming up. Now, the budget hearings were pushed back because of the pandemic, but Councilman Costello says they won't postpone those sessions again. The deadline to have an adopted budget signed by the mayor is coming up June the 26th.